What up, everybody? Blaze One Sports, and Week 15 is over for the Dallas Cowboys as they beat the New York Giants 21-6. Cowboys go to 10-4, looking to lock up that number one seed, looking to get that first week bye in the playoffs. Giants fall to 4-10. Another disappointing season for them. They're going to be looking for a quarterback in the draft next year. So Dak Prescott, 28-37, 217 yards, one touchdown, no picks. Dak really hasn't been looking too good lately. Tony Pollard, 12 carries, 74 yards, 6.2 yards per carry, no touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott, 16 carries for 52 yards, 3.2 yards per carry, and a touchdown. His only highlight was that touchdown. Zeke's still not getting it done all season long. I don't even know how many times he broke 100 yards this year. He's got to go at the end of the year. He's commanding too much money. It's time for him to go. I don't care what he does. In the playoffs, he needs to go. Pollard, if he's asking for big money, he needs to go too. Because I'm done paying big contracts to these players like DeMarcus Lawrence, Zeke, and they don't do nothing once they get paid. It seems like in all sports, once they get the big contract, they become lazy. So Zeke, he's got to go. 16-52. The touchdown, the only highlight, that's not good enough. Schultz was, I guess you can say, the only highlight of the offense, the high point. 8 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown. That's good, but it's not like all numbers, But 8 for 67, that's the best they can do, and a touchdown. He looked good though. CeeDee Lamb, he had a couple dropped passes. He needs to hold on to those passes. 6 receptions, 50 yards, no touchdowns. Gallup, 3 receptions, 32 yards, no touchdowns. Gallup averaged 10.7 yards per carry or per reception. Sprinkle, he had 2 receptions for 21 yards and he averaged 10 yards. Zeke had 3 receptions for 20 yards. Pollard 3 for 13. And Coop only had 2 receptions for 8 yards. Hooker had his first interception of the year. He had 5 tackles, 1 assist, and an interception. Trayvon Diggs, this kid's amazing. They're saying the next Deion Sanders, and I'm saying he's better than Deion Sanders. That's a stretch. I should have said that, but 10 interception. This is rookie year, and he's got 10 interceptions so far. Season's not over. It almost is, though. Trayvon Diggs is amazing. He came out of nowhere. I'm so glad that the Broncos drafted Patrick Surtain Jr. At first, we were all freaking out. We were all mad because that was our guy. But it turns out it was a blessing in disguise, because if we would have drafted Patrick Surtain Jr., would we have drafted Trayvon Diggs? Probably not. So we end up getting a better play. We end up getting 2 better players than Patrick Surtain Jr. in Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. Micah Parsons is playing like a beast. Micah Parsons is being considered for Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. Trayvon Diggs, the same thing, along with 2 other players. But Cowboys, that's pretty good to have 2 Cowboy defensive rookies being considered for Rookie and Defensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons, like I said, is playing like a beast. If we would have got Patrick Surtain Jr., we would not have Parsons or Trayvon Diggs. So it's real good that the Broncos got Patrick Surtain Jr. and that allowed us to get Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. Could you imagine if it was the other way around? Surtain Jr. was the name, but Parsons and Diggs are the players. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Diggs and Parsons so far this year? I mean, who would have thought they would have been playing like this? If the Cowboys' offense was playing as good as their defense, we would be playing lights out every week. We would be blowing everybody out. Imagine if we had a running back that would give us over 100 yards every game. If we had, an offensive line that was solid. If we had good coaching that didn't rotate the offensive line like it was a defensive line. If our coaching was doing better play calling, could you imagine how we would be blowing teams out of the water? But instead, Jerry Jones' bad management decisions leads to bad coaching hires, which leads to bad play calling and also bad personnel on the field. Contracts, free agents, whatever. Dallas remains one of the strongest teams in drafting. I mean, every year they draft these players. Even I think his name is Bashman, defensive lineman they got later in the draft. All their players, I mean, almost not all of them, but most of them always come through. And look at Parsons and Diggs now. If people knew how these guys were going to be playing, they would have been higher picks in the draft. Dallas found them. So, their scouting is on point, but their coaching needs to go. Zeke needs to go, and they just need a clean house no matter what happens. Big changes. Build around this young defense because our defense is solid and one of the best defenses in the game. But like I'm saying, we're struggling on offense, barely getting by. Could you imagine if we had a solid running back rushing over 100 yards per game? That would allow Dak more time, give him more open throws. The receivers dropping passes, not running routes, that's whatever. I mean, that's week to week. They got to work on that. But we need a solid running back in this lineup, and then we would be unstoppable. Opposing defenses ain't really worried about our run game right now because we really don't have one. I don't even know when the last time Zeke broke 100 yards. So, what do you guys think? Did you guys watch the game? Thoughts, comments, questions, opinions in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mike Glennon, he was decent, 13 of 24 for 99 yards, but he had 3 interceptions. Jake Fromm made his NFL debut, 82 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns, 6 of 12, 82 yards. Other than that, there's not much to say on the Giants side. Barkley had 15 carries for 50 yards, basically like what Zeke did. Booker had 8 carries for 74 yards, kind of like what Pollard did. Receiving, Galladay had 53 yards, the free agent signing from the Lions. Their defense, Love had 8 tackles. Ryan had 8 tackles. Crowder had 6 tackles. No interceptions. So, what do you guys think? Oh yeah, one more thing. Greg Zerloin needs to go. Their kicker missed both extra point attempts. He was 3 for 3 in the field goal attempts. He's got a strong leg, but you can't be missing extra points. Dallas needs to invest in a kicker in the offseason. They either need to sign a better kicker or they need to waste a top pick, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round pick on a solid kicker, like what the Raiders did, bringing in Janikowski and Shane Lechler. Cowboys need to do that too. They need a solid kicker. This is ridiculous. Cowboys are known for the last couple years. They win by a field goal or lose by a field goal. They kick a lot of field goals. They need a solid field goal kicker. It's getting out of hand. So, what do you guys think? The offensive line, the coaches we need better play calling. First off, I don't know who's calling the plays, what's going on. Offensive line, they need to stop shuffling it around, stick to an offensive line, to a rotation and pick it. So they got to work on bad play calling. Coaches, I don't know what's going on. The receivers, they need to stop dropping passes. CeeDee Lamb had a couple drop balls as the other couple receivers. The O-line, they need to step it up. Dak, I don't know if he's still hurt. He needs to play better, as is Zeke. Zeke's been down all year. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's got to go. He makes too much money. He's not producing. Time to go. Zerloin missing his extra points. Time for him to go too. He should have been gone. I don't care how good his leg is. It's not that good if he's missing extra points. Who cares if he makes 50-yard field goals? Get rid of Zerloin. Draft a kicker. Second, third round. Sounds kind of dumb, but let's get someone that could actually make kicks. Jordan Lewis, did you see his pick? Ball went way up in the air. He grabbed it. Trayvon Diggs, 10th interception of the season. Rookie of the year he should be. Give Parsons Defensive Player of the Year. Schultz was the highlight for the team on offense with the 8 receptions. Other than that, not too much going on. Dallas could have played better. They should have blown this team out. Their offense is playing weak. Their defense is what's saving them, playing lights out. Imagine if their offense was better. All we need is that running back. So what do you guys think? Anyone else watch the game? What are your thoughts on the game? Thoughts, comments, questions, opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Blaze One Sports.